So I wanted to make a video about securing brand deals with AI and ChatGPT. If you're aware of what AI is and where that technology is going and how we can leverage it as content creators, as people who post stuff on social media, it makes it so much easier to find brand deals. So this is going to be like a complete guide of how I find, contact and secure paying brand deals. So a bit of a background on myself. I've been creating content now online for like 10 years. I primarily post on YouTube, Instagram and TikTok, both short and long form content. By doing that, I've figured out how to partner with brands on paid deals and create a full-time income from content creation. I want to share a unique approach today on how to use ChatGPT, which if you're unfamiliar with what ChatGPT is, it's a text-based AI software where you can give it prompts, ask it questions, and it can give you answers very quickly and very specifically. And we can use this to find brand deals. There is also going to be a template which you can grab, which will be in the description of this video, as well as some other bits and pieces I'm going to throw in. Finding potential brands with ChatGPT. So before ChatGPT came around, it was a very manual process of doing tons of Google searching and actually manually researching companies that you could potentially partner with on whatever type of content you share online. For me, it's mountain biking, adventure, travel, building online businessy stuff, making money online. All that stuff kind of is encapsulated into what I do. That's kind of like my niche, if you like. So if you can imagine somebody who has a product or service that would sell to those people who follow me, is a very valuable asset for someone to partner with me and be able to put their product or service in front of my audience, because it is a dedicated number of people who have put their hands up and said, I'm interested in this stuff this guy's interested in, so I might be interested in what you have to say. There's a strong chance of that. And we can now use ChatGPT with simple prompts to help us find potential brands that we can reach out to. So I'm going to give you a live demo now over on ChatGPT of how all this works. So you want to go to chat.openai.com, sign up for an account if you've not already got one, and there is a free and a paid version. I pay for this, so I've got ChatGPT 4. If you just go with the free version, you will have ChatGPT 3.5. ChatGPT 4 will give you more specific answers, better analysis, and better responses, I think, but it depends if you want to pay for it or not. What we're going to do now is I'm going to put a prompt into the chat box and we're going to ask it a question. So I'm going to keep it real generic to start with, message ChatGPT, and I'm going to include a list of ChatGPT prompts in the description below so you can go and grab that. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask ChatGPT to list 20 potential brands in your niche that could collaborate with a content creator. And you may want to personalize this a little bit or change it around, but you want to be as specific as possible. And ChatGPT you want to treat like a human, so continue building conversation with it, ask it questions, and give it as much detail as you can so it understands what you're asking it. So list 20 potential brands in the mountain biking industry that collaborate with content creators. Let's see what it comes up with here. And you'll see straight away it's already started writing and giving me an answer. Now the answers it might give could be quite generic. They're fairly specific, but you may want to go deeper. You may want to go a level deeper in terms of specific types of brands within mountain biking. So there could be wheel partnerships or crank partnerships or suspension partnerships, or if you're in the adventure niche, it could be airlines, it could be travel insurance, it could be mobile phone eSIM companies, VPNs, it could be anything. But you can use ChatGPT exactly like this to give you a list of brands as a starting point. So you can see how this just cuts down the research process straight away. And you can document all this in the template I'm going to include in the description below. You can see here it's already generated 18 so far. And some of these might not be relevant for you. They might be too big a names, they might not be interested to you, but the fact is you can use ChatGPT to literally shortcut all this process. Like I said, you might want to refine the searches and prompts that you put into ChatGPT. Don't just take the first answer at face value. You may want to go a level deeper, just understand that. So section 2, now you've got a spreadsheet full of brands separated into the different sub-niches that you can start reaching out to. So how on earth do we even reach out to these people? That's going to be the next step. We're going to be reaching out to these people on Instagram, which is where I usually do a lot of my product or brand research, So let's just go to ChatGPT and just grab one of these answers. These will be in a spreadsheet, okay? I'll give you this spreadsheet here of something I was working on for myself. And this is expanded mountain biking partnership ideas. So you can see how I have split the niche into bike related, nutrition, travel and tourism, VPNs, bike storage. And you could go so deep on this depending on what your interests and passions are. It doesn't really matter. And then what I've done here is I've included a potential list of 10 brands and some notes as well, so you can quickly see, okay, all these brands are GPS devices and fitness trackers, all these brands are essential for hydration and carrying essentials on long rides, depending on what type of partnership you're looking for. And then you can simply take one of these brands. So let's take Huel for a start, and we go search Huel, and we find the account. And what you can do here is just simply message them. And don't overcomplicate this, okay? So all we're doing now is we are looking to find the right person to speak to. We're looking to open a door. And you can see I've actually already contacted Huel before. And you can see here, this is the outreach message I would usually use. It's super simple. Hey, hope you're well. I'm looking for the person I need to speak to in regards to a cool content idea I had for Huel. Thanks. Super simple. You don't need to go any deeper than that. Some people may not reply, but the people who do reply will give you a response pointing you in the right direction. Sometimes they'll give you an email address, sometimes they'll give you a name and an email address. That's ideally what we're looking for. We're looking for the decision makers. So we want to find the people and the contacts of people who can okay a partnership deal. We don't want gatekeepers or people who don't make decisions, because all they're going to do is more than likely shun you to one side because they don't see the value in you. You want to get to the root of who makes the decisions in this. And from there, you will then reach out to them with an email, again, asking who the right person is to speak to. And you'll get to a point where you find the right person, the right contact. And this may take a couple of attempts, but it is worth its weight in gold if you can get to the decision maker. One other thing I would add when you're reaching out to brands is don't just copy my scripts and templates, because you want to personalize it to who you are and who your voice is. It comes across like robotic almost if you just copy and paste things, and people can tell a mile off. So add something personalized in there, however you would talk. If there's any slang you would use, maybe it's relevant, or add something relevant into the brand if you already use their products. That's also a good point to go at. And by the way, if you want to learn more about all the stuff we're talking about in this video, there is a link below to my creator blueprint, which goes into all this in much more depth. Initiating conversations is the next stage. Once you've found the decision maker, we want to start a conversation that is gearing up to present your offer. When you're presenting your offer, this is what I see a lot of people getting wrong, they don't have a solid offer in place. They contact brands and then they're kind of at this point of like, oh, I don't know what to offer them, because all they want is free product or money, and that's kind of like all they see. So what I like to do is I like to use a media kit, which is basically a glorified word for a CV. But a media kit is like a 4-page document, maybe even less, that outlines a little bit about yourself, what you do, what sort of audience demographics you have, and I also include my products and packages in there as well, which I partner with brands on. This can be quite customizable depending on who I'm working with. For most parts, I have 3 products that I offer to brands, and these are content creation products. So it could be a monthly retainer, it could be like a 12-month long retainer deal, it could be one-off projects with certain pieces of content included, depending on what the brand wants. Usually when I have this media kit in place, this is enough to spark a conversation with a brand. It actually shows that you are legit and you're not just fishing around for free products or just like kicking the barrel. Like, you are legit, and you have to come across as professional in what you're doing. And that's how brands will take you seriously. And that's what's worked for me in the past. So having a media kit, reaching out to the right people and showing them that you have a product and offer that is valuable to them. Which brings me on to my next point of creating no-brainer offers. So a no-brainer offer or an irresistible offer is exactly as it sounds. You want the brand or the person you're speaking to be in a position where they're like, shit, if I don't take this, I am absolutely stupid. There is no downside to this, it's only upside. And the way you can do that is by putting yourself in a position of power in terms of what everyone else is offering. I know for a fact that most people in my industry don't know how to market themselves properly, in my opinion, and they haven't taken the time to create a personal brand, which is what you want to do. You want to position yourself as a personal brand. If you're similar to me and you're just a one-person content creator, don't just think of yourself as you. Think of yourself as a collective, as a personal brand, that you're inviting people into your space, and then you're giving them access to your audience. That's how I like to think about things. Now, brands are going to want to see return on investment, or ROI. They're going to want to see, okay, if I give you this and you deliver this, what is the return on investment of that? So the return on investment could be in terms of views, it could be in terms of engagement, it could be in terms of product sales. There's all these different metrics that you can promise, or that you should be able to know if you can deliver or not. We've done deals before where it's a no risk deal for a brand. So for example, an affiliate deal where we get a special link, and depending on how many people buy the person's product through our special link, we get a commission, which is nice. That means a brand doesn't have to pay you until you start initiating sales. So there's no risk on them. And you want to make it absolutely no risk, because if you imagine a brand forking out thousands of pounds or thousands of dollars for a deal, they don't even know what the return on investment is going to be, and you're not confident in what you can deliver, you're going to really struggle to sell as a content creator in the future in anything. Coming up with an irresistible offer that ticks all the boxes of what a brand wants in terms of short form content, photographs, long form content. Sit down and think about putting a package together of what you can consistently offer and can consistently deliver to brands. That's what I would think about. The next section is on pricing and negotiations. You're probably going to come to a point where a brand will want to negotiate with you. Sometimes they will accept your offer, sometimes they will flat out decline it. Other times they'll want to negotiate, whether that's on price or deliverables. So they may want more of what you're offering, or they may want to customize it and tweak it. Depending on what your offer is, you may offer this or not. I like to offer the brand somewhat a level of customization to the package that they want, and then we base a price on that, and we come to like a fair agreement that is both mutually beneficial for me in terms of finances and then the deliverables for the brand. So how much should you charge? Because this is a kind of a sticking point for a lot of people. They don't know what to charge, because in the past maybe they've just been told by a brand, we'll pay you this for this, or we'll just give you this for this. It's kind of hard for a content creator to actually value themselves, and a lot of people I've seen undervalue themselves and undersell themselves so much, it really affects every single person within the market. This is something you're going to have to feel out over time. I can't just give you a solid number of like, you should charge this if you are this type of person. This is something you have to refine over time, and the more you do it, the more valuable you become. Now, I will include a calculator down below which will help you determine what you can potentially charge. Now, the numbers in here aren't concrete. They're just to give you an idea based on how many followers and subscribers you have and what your engagement rate is like, and your experience as well in terms of creating content. So don't take this as concrete, just use it as a baseline. If it's too much, then just tweak the price a little bit. If it's too little, increase them. One thing brands don't like, a lot of brands I've worked with, if you come in too cheap or less expensive, they will see you as not professional. They will almost doubt your confidence in what you can deliver. Whereas if you come in at a fairly high price with confidence, you're more likely to get the deal. That's just from my experience. And if you're speaking to the right brands who do have marketing budget, you have to understand that they are there to spend the marketing budget, and you're speaking to the person who has to allocate this budget. The person you're speaking to, it's not their money, it's the brand's money, and she just has to allocate, he or she just allocates it to different creators and different people and different marketing campaigns. It's up to them to make the best decision based on what you offer. Obviously, you can do prior research into a brand before you reach out to them, so you are really making a specific and customizable offer to them. Or you can discuss this with the decision maker when you're like speaking on the phone with them or doing back and forth emails as you're negotiating your partnership. From there, pricing and getting paid, this can happen in a number of different ways. The payment can be split, so you get paid 50% up front, 50% when the deliverables are delivered. Brands will sometimes not pay you until they get the deliverables. Sometimes brands pay everything up front. I personally like a 50-50 split, because it means both parties have skin in the game. It means that you have a carrot dangling in front of you, has a better sense. So you're incentivized to work to earn more money, to earn that reward. Whereas if they pay you up front, it's very much can feel a little bit relaxed. I like to be under pressure a little bit with that sort of stuff. You may be a little bit different. Have a think about that. Certain brands may have different terms they want to discuss to you, but every brand is different and every person is different. I will remind you that in the description below, there is a link to grab the template for tracking these brands, as well as the calculator and the ChatGPT prompts that you can use. And there is also a link below to my creator blueprint, which is basically what we've covered today, but completely step by step and in way more detail. And it walks you through exactly how I find and secure high paying brand deals, plus a whole host of other things to grow on social media. It's like the full enchilada, if you like. And there is a link below to that. Go check it out if you are a serious content creator. It might be up your street, it may not be, but I've put it together and hopefully it can help out the people who are watching this video. Any questions, pop them below and I'll see you in the next video.